And we're live. And I'm not alone. I'm never alone on these. I've got 4 beautiful fellas here with me. Have you guys ever been called a beautiful fella?
No.
It's a first for everything.
If only I had a nickel.
Of course. Yeah, we've got Mike Mitchell here, Andy Henley, Tommy Holstein, and Chuck Casey, and myself. And we're going to be talking about something we're all going to be talking about together at DeckExpo. So it's going to be good. If you guys are tuning in, please ask some questions. Maybe even let us know if you think these guys are beautiful fellas. That would be good too. So it's fall. The sun is setting so much quicker here already. Chuck's on the West Coast too. He's about an hour, 45 minutes north of me. And I'm noticing about 6:10, I can tell that sun is like on its way down already, which is crazy. It always the sun stays out a lot longer in Ohio, Andy.
Mhm.
I went to Put-in Bay like 5 years ago, and I took
That's
a
a good time.
screenshot of the clock in the summertime. It was you've been there, Mike, to Put-in Bay?
Yeah, put in Bay. Yeah,
Oh, cool. Yeah, but I think it was like 9:45 and the sun was still out.
And you're saying in the summertime. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, and I don't know where do they do daylight savings? Isn't it Arizona might be the only place that don't, I think, right?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
But like, I mean, it could be light here at 9:45,
Yeah.
and then in the wintertime, it's dark at like 5 o'clock. Like,
Yeah.
just because of the daylight
Pitch black,
savings times. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's crazy. Like there could be a time if you wake up early and then you work all day and then you get home that you never actually were free to see the sun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
yeah. I know people working inside. You don't see the sun, especially if you don't have like an office with a window or.
Yeah.
Oh, I went through that for a year. Well, actually, there was a window, but it was tinted. So to me, it was almost worse because it felt like it was winter in Ohio. The whole time I was there, it was not very motivating, and I couldn't open the window. So that's when I decided I'm just going to work from home. Like, why am I doing this? You know, I could open the window and walk to my kitchen. So, yeah. But I think in summertime here, the sun, it's only out until like 8 p.m.,
Yeah, we're
right? When you
south.
say?
We're in the southern latitude. Yeah, because we're in the southern
Yeah,
latitude. So
right.
twilight starts coming between 8 and 8:15.
Hmm.
But
So
if you're
not
in the northern
9:40,
latitude,
like,
no,
yeah, not 9:45 like Ohio. It's crazy.
no.
Like you have so much more time, which you guys deserve it because you wait all winter for summer, right?
Oh yeah, and we have the Browns, so with you have the football team, and then
Long suffering.
and the long boring winter. Yeah, we deserve a long sun.
Yeah, exactly. The struggles.
Oh
Well,
man.
You're
There's
used to
a
disappointment there.
Yeah, it is. It's just depressing.
Look, this is how Ohioans bond, though. We bond
Yeah, it
in
is.
misery.
It's misery. Yeah, we all have something in common. So
Yeah. So I'm
know
originally
what's
from Andy and I are from the same area. I mean, I'm out here now in San Diego, but so when I say
It's
us
amazing.
Ohioans, I still identify as an Ohioan.
It's amazing when you're walking around places like when we're at Deck Expo. Pay attention to how many people are from Ohio. There's
Ugh.
there's a
everybody's from Ohio.
Well, I
Everybody
swear
knows
to
somebody
God,
from Ohio. Yeah.
everybody's got a relative in
my
Ohio.
mother's from Ohio. They're Bay Village
Yeah,
outside
see?
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Born
Well, Mike,
born there. The family was there.
Mike,
So
weren't you
yeah,
saying when we go to events, like Mike and I will introduce ourselves, and I'll say, "Oh, I'm from the Ohio market," and Mike goes, "I'm from the Chicago market," and you'd think Chicago, somebody's like, "Oh, Chicago," blah blah blah. No, he never, not one
every
person
time
ever
it's
ever goes, "Oh, Chicago, you ever been this?" It's always, "Oh, Ohio, I've been there." It's just, and you'd think that it wouldn't be a thing, but it's a thing. It's funny.
I don't know if I could
Are
pick
in
Ohio
Ohio.
out. I don't know.
We have do you have trees in your area, Chuck, that change color?
A few.
Leaves?
We have one right in front of the house because my wife's from Minnesota. And
Yeah.
she likes the colors and she misses the colors. So we
So
planted
I
a
don't know
tree
what
that
those
can change
trees
the
are,
colors.
but I guarantee it's the one that's got the pokeballs on it that fall off.
Yeah.
Is it that tree?
It's
The
these turn yellow.
Pokeballs.
They turn yellow, and all the leaves will turn yellow, and then they'll turn brown and fall. So
Yeah.
it's a neat tree, and I don't even know the species, to be honest with you. But if it makes my wife happy, we're happy. So
Well said. Well said.
exactly,
Good.
yes,
Good words of wisdom. Cool. Well, should we get to it?
yeah.
Sure.
All right. Awesome. So, hey, everyone. Welcome back to the We Love Deck Builders podcast. This is the DeckExpo Series. We're going to dive into all things decking, outdoor living, and building a stronger business. I'm your host, April Edwards, and today we have a very special episode. Look at all these folks we have here. We've got a powerhouse panel of builders that are redefining luxury outdoor living. Now, I know that Andy and Mike have been up on the stage there. Deck Specialist hosts these panels, which I think are completely invaluable. How many times have you guys been up there?
Are you asking Mike and myself?
Yeah.
Two
This will be our
times,
fourth?
two.
I was just
Two.
this is either going to be our third or fourth time doing it.
Yeah. So Deck Specialist has been doing these panels for this will be the third year.
I think
Correct.
so. Yep.
Okay, great. And you guys have been there since the start.
Yep.
Yep.
We're the founding fathers of it.
Yeah. And Tommy, this will be your first time.
It is. Yep.
You know why you're here, right?
I thought it was just to balance out the beauty between,
That's exactly what it was. You got it.
That's it. Well, I guess we're done, guys. Enjoy the evening.
Thanks,
You're here for a pretty face.
Yeah.
No, I suggested that you come because you've been just a powerhouse and our deck builder marketers bi-weekly growth workshops, we're calling them now. So Tommy has attended and just really had some really good wisdom to share with the other deck builders on those coaching calls. And so I just thought, man, you really need to be on this panel because you're going to be able to give back a lot. So I hope that vote was something you were appreciating.
Very
Yeah. It's, it's weird, but no, it's appreciated for sure.
So let me give all of our listeners just a little introduce all of you guys in case they don't know you. So Tommy Holstein, he is the owner of Solid Ground. It's a family-driven outdoor living company in Wentzville, Missouri. They specialize in custom decks, patios, and steel frame structures with a focus on quality craftsmanship and client-first service. Mike Mitchell is the owner of Mitchell Construction, serving the greater Chicago area since 1978. Known for innovative decking solutions and multiple stellar service awards from Trex. Andy Henley is the owner of Hen-House Decks, a multi-award-winning deck company in Uniontown, Ohio, renowned for innovative designs and problem-solving skills that create timeless custom outdoor solutions. And we also have Chuck Casey here. He is the moderator of this panel that is going to be at DeckExpo this year. He's a seasoned industry professional with Deck Specialist magazine. He brings deep knowledge of the decking and outdoor living sector and a wealth of experience in moderating discussions at industry events, helping highlight trends and best practices for builders looking to grow in the high-end market. So together, we're all going to be talking about the upcoming panel, Winning High-End Clients, the Art of Selling Luxury Outdoor Living on the Show Floor Education. It's the outdoor living stage. We'll give a sneak peek at the discussion, explore ideas for growing your business in the high-end market, and hype up why builders should be coming to DeckExpo in the first place, right?
Right.
So that's my introduction for you guys. But how about each of you guys just say a little something that maybe I didn't cover in your intro so that we could just kind of learn from your perspective. So Mike, why don't you go first?
Sure. I'm Mike Mitchell. Says it right there. I'm a second generation deck builder. So my dad started in '78, and learned a lot through the years from him and from his crew leaders, and through the decades that we've built in different aspects, we've done everything from full house builds to remodels, things like that, and found our niche in deck building. Since we've niched down into that, it's been a big success and a lot of fun to grow teams. And as we're sitting here in a showroom that's new to us, it's just cool to see what we can do.
Nice.
Love it. The showroom is exciting, man.
It is.
Yeah.
It's going to make such an impact.
How long has the
Yeah.
showroom been up? You said
Well,
new.
so we just moved to the space in January and started
Okay.
building it out. So I had a meeting here earlier today, but it's by appointment only at this point. So we don't have it staffed yet. That's going to be the next step. But it's great to be able to have a space to bring people and go over things and actually have real life samples. And it's connected with our warehouse too. So if there's not something in here that's showable, we can just walk out and there's everything you can imagine in the warehouse. So.
Good deal.
Yeah, really cool.
I want to pick your brain on all that, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Andy,
Yes.
Andy the artist.
Andy the artist. Yep.
Mhm.
So I'm Andy, Hen-House Decks, and first thing, I don't understand why my iPad zooms in and out. I can't figure it out. It's driving me nuts. So if it doesn't bother you, awesome. But just know it's driving me crazy. Because every time I corner my eye, all I see is it go like this and then back out. So
It's
It's
a
either
dramatic
cool-
effect.
yeah, it's either
Yeah,
really cool or really
yeah.
annoying. But I think that's actually how I am as a person. So
You
um,
would agree.
yeah, there you go. Thanks, Tommy. So, anyways, I'm probably out of the other guys here. I'm probably the beauty of the group, and I'm known for my creative decks. If you follow us on Facebook and Instagram or whatever, you're gonna see we have a real funky style to us. I like to think outside the box. I've always been the type of person that when someone tells me I can't do something, I try to prove them wrong, and I do it. So some people are like, "Oh, you're crazy for that," or I don't like it. But if I like it, I always just go with my gut. I try not to let somebody else's advice take away my vision. But it is hard. And I've often said that a quote that I like to live by, but I struggle with it still, even though it's a quote I live by, which is comparison is a theft of joy. So if you're a deck builder out there and you're wanting to be and you have a vision and you want to stick to it, just don't compare yourself to other people. Just be you. That's what I did, and that's how I got to where I'm at.
So Sean Collingsgrew was on yesterday, and it ended up being like a life coaching podcast episode, and we talked about that comparison thing a lot.
Yeah.
So that's apparently a theme this week. So
It must
all
be.
you
Well, and
listeners-
just in life. Yeah, just in life.
Mhm.
Like I coach my son in wrestling, and like sometimes I've stepped back and actually that quote hit me harder in that aspect, because it was, why can't he be like the other kid or blah blah blah. And I did all that, and I forgot to, and not that I didn't forget, but I lost that moment where I watched him grow into what he is, because I was comparing him to something else. And I think that it's important in every aspect of your life to have that thought process. And even though I say that, I struggle with it every day still. So
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I personally feel God made us all unique in our own ways, and you really need to own that, So,
for sure.
Tommy, go ahead.
I'm Tommy Holstein with Solid Ground. My wife and I, Tara, run the business together. It's a pretty neat dynamic. Our kids are all actively involved in the company, so that's very rewarding. Our son does all of our videos. He owns a company called Video Punk. They do all of our videos and do just a lot of fun stuff. It's neat to see, to get to see his creativity kind of shine through with our work. Most of what we do, several years ago, 2018, 2019, we really focused on targeting that higher end build. and not so much higher end in dollar amount, but just in quality of build. We made the decision to switch exclusively over to steel framing. Took us a while to get that, to really get that dialed in and get with a manufacturer that we could be exclusive with. Ultimately found Newcastle Steel, and it's been great ever since. Everything we do is a steel framed deck. That going into that, knowing that quality is what we were looking for, it gave us just a different path. Instead of looking at, we want to close every project, we really look at kind of excluding projects that just aren't a good fit for us for one reason or another. And it's been great. So now looking at the next chapter, looking at a showroom, looking at a warehouse, and growing in a different way and different direction.
Right on.
Super cool, man.
Good
Lots on
deal.
the horizon, and I love the family aspect.
Yeah.
That's got to be pretty cool to actually be able to spend more time with your kids when they're out of the house.
It's different because you're the employee-employer dynamic, but then you love this kid, so it's different.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
We should have you on the podcast to just talk about that.
It'd be fun. Yeah.
The challenges of working with family,
Yeah.
yeah. Because you're doing it all. I mean, you got your wife and kids,
And it's different, all of those dynamics. Imagine being married to your business partner and
Mhm.
disagreeing with something that your business partner says or does, and it's like you don't clock out and go home. You're just still together all day.
Right.
So we've, I really think it's made our marriage stronger, which is awesome. I also have the benefit of I worked for many years with my father, and now I see what he saw. Like daily, I'm like, sorry, Dad. Like, I know I was a little hard-headed, let's say, but it's great. I mean, it's seeing the other side of that, seeing what my father saw working with his son. Now I'm working with my sons, and I couldn't imagine it being any different. It's incredible.
Do you guys agree that it's gonna be the day when your kids get older and they tell you that you were right about something?
That happens, yes. That's a good thing, especially when they're raising kids.
Yep.
I grew up watching The Simpsons, and I swear the older I'm getting, the more I understand why Homer would strangle Bart.
Yeah.
Well,
it makes more sense now.
yeah, and I mean, I always say, like, God gave me so much patience, but it all ran out when they turned 12.
Yeah. They change.
So, Chuck, who are you?
All right. Howdy, everyone. My name's Chuck Casey, and I'm with Deck Specialist Magazine. So our publications date to 1922.
Wow.
We have 2 dealer distributor books, Lumber Building Material. Our audiences are the retail dealers and the wholesale distributors, the people that bring products to market. And then in 2017, we started Deck Specialist. And so I've had the pleasure of working with these companies for a long time. Patrick Adams is our publisher. He does a very good job. He helped grow the company. David Koenig, Sarah Graves, we put together Deck Specialist, and it was a real good fit at the time because people were moving away from man caves and they were going outside into the outdoor living space. And then COVID just kind of kicked it into hyperdrive and everybody went outside. So, I mean, it was a good timely trend, and we're fortunate to be able to participate in it. And as I said to you guys earlier, before we were on air, I have a lot of respect for everybody on this panel. The amount of things you guys have to juggle in terms of being a builder, and then all the things that happen through the course of doing that managing expectations, materials, delivery schedules, working with homeowners, permitting. It's just amazing. For those who are listening, give yourself a lot of credit. Andy said, don't compare yourself to others because it's a thief of joy, and that is true. But one thing that's interesting about this industry that we try and communicate, and we see it from our perspective, is that there's a lot of good-hearted people in this business, and they help each other. So rather than comparing, they're actually helping, and that is rare. And so some of the values or ethics we see among builders, it's a rare thing, and something about the building material industry itself. People are attached to it. People get into this industry, they do it a long time, but the contractors and the builders, they want to help each other. And from our perspective, the decking industry has grown a tremendous amount because of the quality of the people that have gone into it. Like Andy said, they're artists as much as they are builders, and they have a vision, and you can do that. You're not just framing a house and then covering it all up with drywall. What you guys are building it lasts. It's part of, people smile when they go on their deck. They bring their friends, they bring their families. So I mean, these are the things we see, and in our publication we try and capture this. So the passion, the enthusiasm, and this kind of camaraderie and sentiment, we do our best as a publication to reflect it, and to inspire. So I'm a facilitator, and I try and bring these and pull these things out of you guys, and it's pretty easy because they're all at the surface. They're not necessarily even below the surface. And then April does a really good job from our perspective of herding cats and getting you guys lined up and handling that aspect of the business so that you guys can keep growing. So the relationship, and that's kind of what we do and look at, is the relationship between all these different pieces and how to communicate it, and then give you guys a forum to express it. Mike and Andy are tool reviewers, and we really enjoy it. And so there's a community aspect to the business. And so those who are looking at this or watching us right now, I should say, that's what you're going to get by going to DeckExpo. You get a sense of it, you kind of tie into it, and you come back with ideas and put them to work, and just be consistent and make it happen, and you'll continue to grow and succeed.
Beautiful.
So,
Did you know that all three of these fellas work? I'm privileged to do their marketing.
yeah, and they're all, and it's interesting too because they're all very successful at what they do. And I mean, and bringing like what Tommy said with Newcastle Steel, that's a new idea. That's a new product. One thing about the building material industry, from the manufacturer's perspective, is they don't innovate at the rate that other industries innovate. Callbacks are a nightmare, right? So callbacks, product failures, that'll ruin your day real quick. And so the rate of innovation is slow, but these guys are doing it, and they're doing it. And so, and they're successful. So there's definitely a correlation here, between working with you, their success, and their ability or desire to go out a little bit different. Like steel framing, that's not as common, but it's probably the best framing you can get because it's not going to fail. So those are just good examples.
Good industry to be in, right? Like you guys started the Deck Specialist magazine, never looked back.
Yeah, it's gone really well. We had a couple other publications in the industry. Their formula was to teach you guys how to do what you do, so to speak, in terms of skills, applications, methodologies. We try and inspire. So because you guys are good at what you do, you are setting the bar, you're creating the standards for building, and we just want to inspire everybody and others to be leaders in it. And I think that's helped the industry a little bit from our perspective.
And I think that Mike and Andy, your guys' column started maybe a little bit before mine. I can't remember, but it was around the same time that we started all writing for Deck Specialist magazine, I believe. How long have you guys been doing your column?
Probably on our third year.
Third
Mike?
year.
Yeah.
I think that's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've been writing that long. I don't know. I'd have to look. Time's flying.
Sarah's listening. Sarah's our editor, and she would know specifically.
Sarah, pop in, leave a comment, and give us the answer.
Exactly.
What's the name of your guys' column?
Ours is Decking
TNT.
Yeah, I don't.
I've got magazines here.
Yeah, Decking TNT, and the TNT is tools and technology. So
Yeah.
and what we do is it's an honest take on either the technology that we're using or the tool. And I feel that, if you're reading these, that you just know that these are coming from a place of everyday and either the struggle or however the crew is using them. This is the feedback we're giving you. And even with the manufacturers that will give us tools to try out and things like that, which is really cool. And we're blessed that they do that. We even tell them, we are going to find something that we feel needs to be improved on. I mean, it could be, we wish the grip was more cushiony. I don't know, but we're going to find something, because these manufacturers are and especially Milwaukee, they appreciate that feedback. And I think because of that, they've, at least in my book, they're a standout company, and they really reap what they sow. I mean, wouldn't you agree, Mike? When we went to their pipeline event, it was just top notch. I mean, they invited us there, showed us the whole factory. And now I'm sure other manufacturers are like that too, but the experience we had there was like everybody that worked there was privileged to work there. And I think that was like the biggest thing I think I actually took away from the whole event. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. Yeah. Everybody was just completely all in on what they were doing there. It was really cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably the biggest. I mean, there was some cool stuff they showed, and I think the most powerful thing was just from the ground
how much
up,
they cared.
Yeah, how much they cared. It was like it was like their business, and that was cool. So,
do you guys have a favorite column that you did?
What was yours, Mike?
So I've got a favorite tool that I had, but the favorite column that I wrote, there is one. Give me a minute, and I'll figure it out, because I remember I had a really good time writing about it.
Do you guys Chuck, do people ever write in? I said write. I guess email?
Contact.
It's kind of like when you say roll the window up, like we don't really roll the window up anymore.
Yeah.
Or like let's
They
film
just
that.
pack that information in, Chuck.
Most of our here's one. So if I know they're not the perfect, but there's Milwaukee. They talked about Milwaukee tools, so I've got copies of the magazines here. So I mean, most of the feedback we get is when we travel often. I'm out at a lot of different industry shows, and the industries overlap. I mean, the material suppliers work with the builders, and so the industries, the different industries certainly overlap, because our retail dealer, wholesale distributors supply these guys. And then the manufacturers are working across between the builders and the dealer distributor audience. And so most of the feedback I get is in person when we travel, seeing a lot of people. And it's usually very positive. So, what you guys are doing makes a lot. People don't. It's funny, if you buy a car, doesn't work, you're going to get a complaint. But if you drive away and the wheels don't fall off, you're not going to call the manufacturer back and say, hey, guess what? Everything's fine on this car.
Nice car. Yeah.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
So, it's unfortunate that that's the way it works. But in person, people will always pull us aside and talk about how much they appreciate what you guys are doing. And when they talk about they like the magazine, they're talking about the content and what you guys put into it.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I am remembering now. So the one I enjoyed writing the most, or I had the most passion about, was actually the hammer. So we reviewed a hammer, and it just brought back so many thoughts and memories through the years of actually hammering away at with the tools, and what a hammer actually did for a contractor back in the day. Like before there was nail guns, things like that. That's what built all of these houses, all of these buildings. So that one was the most.
Was it stiletto?
It was stiletto.
All right, so there it is.
Oh, there you go. You're quick.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I got the magazines next to me. So stiletto, and that's only a $292 hammer.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
Do
it.
you remember the first time you picked up a real hammer and like you swung that hammer and it was right? Like it's not the $25 off the shelf. Like
Yeah.
there was something about it. It fit your hand better. It swung better. It drove a nail better. You remember that moment?
Yeah, so one of the things that comes to mind for me is like once you break in a wood hammer, right? You get it just how
Mhm.
you want it, just the way and then the handle breaks.
Yeah.
And then it's like starting all over.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
So
We don't use hammers anymore, like really at all. And it's different, just
Screw
everything's
guns,
a
nail guns.
yeah. Yeah.
and going back to that article about the stiletto, that was a cool article to write because I mean it's a hammer. Everybody, like how exciting can an article be about a hammer? And it was just one of those things where that is a cool
That's
hammer
awesome.
because of the features that it has, and it is, like Mike said, an everyday essential item for somebody. Maybe not now, but like I mean, everybody started off with that, and they can relate, and it tells a story that like Mike fell in love writing that article, and we're hoping that somebody read that and it brought up old times too, and that I think that was the power of that article, so.
that's cool. And I also, so my column is market yourself. And so I go over marketing strategies. I talk about everything. And lately I've been putting together like checklists and guides that you can download that off of our website that will help you apply some of the things that I'm talking about in the column. So I would love feedback. I mean, so um, it looks like 3 years. It looks like I've been writing for 3 years too, and I would love some feedback, honestly. Like, if anybody's read the column, please let me know. You could go and, hit us up on any of the socials, or there's a chat on the website. It would be really helpful for me to know if it's bringing you any value so that, I can, as I continue writing, it's helping out. So, all right. So Chuck, as the moderator of the panel that's coming up here, what inspired Deck Specialist Magazine to focus on the topic of selling luxury outdoor living spaces?
It's kind of the trend in the marketplace. So what we're seeing is that with the outdoor living, the trend's going towards more high-end projects. And I think it's partly due to how the economy is, the high end's driving a lot of the economy, especially with housing, especially with construction, because people that can afford to do these projects, they're more mature in their financial situations. And so that end of the market continues to grow. It's really driving the industry forward. Smaller decks, conventional decks, people can DIYers can do them, and entry level builders can do them. The stuff that these three gentlemen are putting together, they're done by experts. They're done by professionals that have a lot of experience. And it's these high-end decks, luxury builds that drive the market forward. And for a lot of builders, we need a pipeline of new builders coming in to the market. They're not aspiring to build a 20 by 25 deck. They're aspiring to build a guitar deck. They're aspiring to build high-end projects that put them on the map. And so that's kind of why we saw this as a trend. And also, as the economy for a lot of people at the low end is tight, the high end keeps moving forward. So it's definitely the part of the market that it might be smaller in terms of total size, but it's very stable, and it'll continue to be the part of the market that grows from our perspective.
Yeah, I'd say you guys aren't selling decks, you're selling a lifestyle, and that is outdoor living. So
Well,
Not
I'm
just a deck.
excited.
it's a dream. I mean, a lot of this, you think about it, the passion's there because people have a vision, and if they have the money to fund it, then they can, so it's artistic, it's creative, and then it creates, that outdoor living space that they want to be on.
For sure. So I was going to ask this question next. Actually, before I do that, let's give some props to some folks that are participating here. So we've got Garden Structure Group. He said, "Hi guys." We
Howdy.
have Hollywood Decks. Buenos, gentlemen
Yeah.
and lady. Oh, and check this out. We have IT support for Andy too. Do you still need IT support?
Ah.
Look at this. Did you figure
Oh.
out your Zoom thing?
Look at that.
To stop
Bobby
an iPad
Warren,
camera
somebody
from
what?
zooming and moving, disable the center stage feature in a video call by opening the control center and tapping the video effects button to turn center stage off.
Well, all right. I'm screenshotting that.
Yeah, that's for doing it later.
Thanks, Bobby.
Free
Yeah.
IT support on the We Love Deck Builders podcast.
That's funny.
We have a couple of questions too. So Bobby wants to know from Mike. I know you said the showcase was new, but have you seen tangible benefits from it yet?
So
The showroom.
the showroom, yeah. So the showroom is new. Yeah, I have brought several people through it, and yes, it has been very beneficial for us. So I would say I don't have the exact data. I should actually have it, but I would say close to 80% of the people that come in decide to move forward. Now, how many of those would have moved forward without the showroom? I can't say exactly, but to know that if they do come in, if I can get them to come to the showroom, it just makes them that much more comfortable with us and more confident that we can do what they're looking for, and also solve some of their questions. By seeing everything together in a something that was put together by a builder instead of going to a Home Depot or something like that where it's just a shelf of colors or.
Mhm. Has it saved you any more time? Do you have people go there first? Do you go to their place first?
So I've never had anybody come here first. It's always a follow-up appointment. Does it save any time? I'd say probably not. It might help close the deal though, whereas
Mhm.
even though you spent more time on it, that time was spent moving forward instead of, maybe if we didn't have the showroom, there wouldn't have been that follow-up appointment, and could have lost those deals. So I don't think it's necessarily a time saver, but it's definitely helped the
Mhm.
sales out.
We did a growth workshop. So we do coaching for our clients at Deck Builder Marketers, and we talked about the ROI of a showroom. And Pat O'Keefe was on there. Were you? Was anybody on that session? So I would say the biggest thing that folks talked about, the best takeaway was just like having a really good location for your showroom, and then people just like naturally stopping in. I can't remember who it was, but they actually built a deck on top of the showroom, and then they were in a location that was like the freeway was there, and so everybody could see the deck when they were driving by, and they would get a lot of foot traffic just because of that strategy and their location in general. So
I use one of my guys. I have him. We bought a gorilla outfit, and he sits outside and he spins that sign, and he just directs people towards the showroom. So that's a joke, but it probably would work if we were selling.
I bet it would.
Yeah, if we were selling mattresses.
There you go.
Yeah.
From the dealer perspective, they invest a lot into demos, displays, and it really helps to drive and move the products. When the consumer, the clients can see it and touch it, it makes a big difference.
I'm reading your question again here, Bobby, and to expand on that, one thing that I have definitely noticed is when somebody comes into the showroom, there's things that they didn't even know existed before, like a hideaway screen or a louvered roof or something. Maybe I didn't do a good job of showcasing everything on the site, but they come in and they see it in real life, and all of a sudden they want it.
I was going to ask something. Showroom. What was I going to ask? Do you feel like that your location is a good spot? Is it close to your home, or did you pick a different spot?
Ours, it is close to home. It's close to the town that we're very involved in. It's in a good town. So it's in a good area, but it's not in that foot traffic area. It's more in an industrial area. But there is a lot of trade style businesses and stuff in
Mhm.
the area. And it's only, you know, a 3 or 4 minute drive from the heart of downtown of our
Mhm.
town. So it's not far. It's close enough, but still far enough away where you can have industrial type stuff going on.
And you've been to Legacy Decks office and showroom, right? What are some cool things they have going on there? I think Andy, you've been there as well, right?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think what I thought was really cool. I mean, I think it's cool for the customers to come in, and it looks very professional. All of his sales guys, project managers, people, they all have a place to go, right? But I also think it gives his employees and everybody a cool place to conduct business. I mean, I think I'm going to go back to that Milwaukee thing I said. If you've met the Legacy guys, I mean, they love what they do. They're very passionate about that business, and I think that starts from the moment you walk through his doors. It's the vibe that he has in there. I mean, he's covered everything. I mean, it's not just the showroom for him. I think it's like the home for his work family, and they all live there and as they're working, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, but I could definitely, when I'm there as just a builder, I was like, wow, this is nice. I mean, it felt like I was at like a big corporate place, and that alone tells me if I was a customer and I wanted to spend money, that these guys obviously do a good job of putting their pride into this building. That, I mean, they've got to do a good job building a deck, so.
That's cool. I
Almost
know
the culture they create.
What's that?
You mean like the culture that they create, like
Yeah, like it's got a
the
really
employees
good
feel
culture.
like they
Yeah.
belong. Yeah. Yep.
100%. Yeah. And it's like,
Yeah.
and like I said, not just for the homeowners or
Yeah.
clients coming in, which that's still a great culture and vibe that's in there too. But even
Sure.
for the vibe and the culture of his workers. I mean, it's just,
Yep.
Chris is one of those guys that is, I mean, he's a really good guy to watch, and he's a good mentor and stuff. And he's doing a good job of showing the industry how to build a team that is passionate, and you can see that in every one of his employees, whether it's somebody that you see at the expo, or it's just you run into them somewhere, or even if you're out there visiting for whatever reason, and it's
Yeah.
the secretary. I mean, every person is proud that they work there, and I think all that trickles down to how successful he is
Mhm.
in general.
Yeah.
So.
It's
Absolutely. I
also
think that that culture. Sorry, Mike. I think that culture, like we try to develop that same feel. Like we want our
Hmm.
people to be here for years. I'd love somebody to retire from our company,
Hmm.
and in order to do that, they have to be happy with what they do. They have to feel like this is a rewarding career path, not just financially rewarding, but like you got to be able to step back from your work and be like, dude, I built that, I did that.
Yeah.
Um, but I think you also have to feel like the people around you, you want to hang out with those people, you want to be in their presence, and I think having the people that I work with feel like I want them to be there and I want them to be there tomorrow. Um, that's important to me because I do want them there. I do want, I like the people that I get to work with. And many of them started with us with very little to no knowledge of construction or tools or anything. And watching people, I mean, we've got some success stories within our company of people that came from, where they are to where they were to where they are now. Like that's cooler to me than building a deck, like um, it's really neat seeing the individual growth and seeing that culture. Like we're still trying to develop that culture, and I think Chris has that down to a science,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
And Tommy, do you, on some of those things that you were saying, do you communicate with your guys and tell them kind of what you're saying, like, hey, I want to hang out, like you're a person that's bigger than the than the job. Are you hands-on talking to them? See,
I do.
I hate to admit it, I struggle with that a little bit sometimes, because sometimes I feel that I tell my guys how much I appreciate them,
Mhm.
but then a lot of time goes by, and I feel that maybe, and I've had a couple of them address that to me. Hey, where's the love lately, type of deal. And I feel, because I'm not on the job site with them, that it's still there, but it is humbling in a sense to know that they want, uh, that I need to reach back out. And
Yeah.
I just had two guys, and they wanted a raise, and they wanted to, there was talk about maybe going to another builder, because they were wanting to go, they wanted to take a step up in the pay grade. They've been working hard,
Yeah.
but it is a two-way street, right? But they never really expressed that to me. And
Mhm.
I wear a lot of hats, and it is, there's times where maybe we talked about it, and then I kind of carried on with what I do, and I forgot to go back to the little guy. And I'm an advocate of the little guy, and so a life lesson for me is I can't forget that guy, and I can't forget to, tell that guy how important he is, just because he's the reason I can live the way I want to live in certain aspects. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if you have had that experience with your guys or not, but I got to hold myself accountable. I need to do a better job.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, it's tough. I think so. Two things to that: you get to live the lifestyle that you want to live because of the fruits of their labor, let's say.
mm-hmm.
But your team, they too get to live the way they want to live. They get to live their lifestyle because of the path that you carved out for them with Hen-House Decks.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a two-way street, and
It certainly is.
you need to see that side of it as well.
Sure.
In the construction trades, the stereotypical construction site is not what we are looking for. And likely, I mean, knowing the two of you, I know that's not your job site. We don't allow smoking. We don't allow people to be out there cussing, and we don't allow people to talk down to other people on the crew. Which, from a construction site, that's not the norm. People treat people a certain way. They think it's funny. They think it's acceptable. Whatever. I don't. I don't participate in that, and I'm a guy that, like, if you're the stereotypical construction guy, we can get along, we can hang out, we ain't working together. I want a certain type of person on my team, someone that I can trust to be on the job site and take care of a person's property, take care of whatever. And I think it's easy for us to forget that, as much as our clients might love us and think, oh my gosh, Solid Ground, you guys are the greatest crew, I'm so happy you're here, they are really happy the day we leave, because they don't have to, you got a construction site that's working in your yard, in your property. So that's a thing that I relay to our team. That's we want to uphold that kind of standard. As far as telling my crew, I probably don't tell them enough, and I want to. I also try to, you try to balance things out. Like, I don't want to come down on somebody really hard and make them feel terrible, but it's like, you cut this board wrong, and then you got another board and you cut it wrong again. You didn't learn from the mistake. I don't mind that you made a mistake. I want you to learn from that mistake. You come down on them too hard, and then they're just like, just destroyed the rest of the day. So I have to balance the love and the sternness, I guess. But I think I do. You'd probably have to ask my guys. I think I do a good job, but I don't know.
I know what you mean, in a sense of, like, the more you could let them know about the good things, the easier it is to let them know about the things that aren't so good,
Yeah.
or mistakes that were made.
Yep.
We we run our business on our core values. We are very, it keeps your running your business really simple if you do that too. And we give reviews based off of those core values. And so when we bring someone on, we make sure that, you know, they're going to be a good culture fit. Like that's number one. And that they will be able to fit those core values. There's something that, first of all, I just love this conversation. We were talking about showrooms and it went into culture. And I just think this is a really good topic. But Chris always says, and I'm trying to remember where it's at. He says, your goals should be so big that everybody else's goals can fit inside of it. You know? And so like Deck Builder Marketers are, what do you think our mission is? I mean, like really, it's not
I
like
think
to
the
serve
best
a ton of
It's
deck
to help
builder.
other people succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You want to help,
exactly.
and
Yeah.
I
that
thought
is,
it was to
yeah.
give your existing customers a good discount
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah.
That's January. Yeah.
Yeah,
You'll be
He's so
charged extra for
successful
that.
that we
I
could
was
just work
pretty
for
sure
free.
that's. I thought. I'm gonna be honest. I thought that's where you were heading. Like, I think our mission here is to give our existing customers a nice big discount. So
It never hurts to ask, Andy. But it's to empower potential, improve lives, and build success. And so that really trickles down to our team, their families, you know, and our clients and their teams and their communities, you know. It's about really making a bigger impact with the solutions that we provide. So anyway, I wanted to say this because this is also something that we promote around here. And there's this video that I share as well. It's a clip from you guys, Andy and Mike. You probably know more than Tommy. I'm not sure how old this movie is, but have you guys ever seen Meet the Robinsons from a Disney flick?
Heard of it. It's
Oh,
older.
go
No, I
watch
don't
it.
think
It's
so.
one of my
No, I
favorites.
don't think I have.
I'll have to
It's
put
one
it
of
on the
my
list.
favorites. So the kid is an inventor, and there's so much more to it. But when you are an inventor, like just like, you know, when inventions are made, there's so many mistakes that happen before they finally get to that final invention and prototype. You know what I'm saying? But all of those mistakes along the way are what brought them to make the
Right.
final thing.
Right.
So this is a quote that is from that movie. Around here, however, we don't look backwards for very long. We keep moving forward, opening up new doors and doing new things. And curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. So this was the quote at the end of the movie, but the scene that I share is the kid, he was so excited to share his peanut butter and jelly invention thing where it squirts peanut butter and jelly on, you know, like with one squirt or something like that. And the whole thing failed and there was a huge mess all over the room. And he was so scared that he was going to get yelled at by everybody. And instead they all celebrated. And they celebrated the fact that he failed because it is important for growth. You cannot grow if you don't fail, right? And so one of our other core values, we've retired it because it just is embodied in us now, is woo-hoos. So we share wins before any meeting. And we do that throughout the week as well, because it's always easier to identify things that are going wrong. But if you could really intentionally take the time to make sure that you're sharing even just a small win, it makes such a big impact in your culture. So
Good.
we've got some questions here, lots of participation. So where do I even start? Let's see here. How critical are reviews for local businesses? Do you have any thoughts?
I think they're.
I think they're huge.
I think, yeah, honestly, I do. I think they're extremely huge, especially in this day and age. Everybody has a phone in front of them, and I mean, they're looking through their phone, and if you have a good review, that's where you go. I mean, even business owners that are getting those reviews. I mean, if I go out to a restaurant or I'm looking at something, even on the Amazon, if it has good reviews, I'm buying said product. If it has a bad review, I go right past it and look for one that does have a good review. So I do think they're good. I mean, I sometimes think that reviews are just as good as a paycheck in terms of, you know, at the very end of a job. And I think my goal at the end is to try to get that review. And Chuck said it best. I mean, unfortunately, people don't want to give a good review. They want to give a bad review. You know, it's like you do a good job, but it's like they expected you to do a good job. That's why they hired you. So it's
Right.
sometimes it's hard to get that review. So
I will say,
Well, I think it has a lot to do with what we're talking about too. I mean, we somebody that only has a few reviews compared to another builder that's got, you know, a ton, that's going to create a different level of trust and overall authority if you're trying to sell, you know, a $80,000 project, right? So I think that they also help with the topic that we have here.
one thing I've noticed with reviews that seem to have a bigger impact is when the person actually leaves pictures of their own project, because there's so many fake reviews out there, and just to see somebody like talking about a project, naming names, and then actually putting a picture on there, I feel like that's helpful for the consumer.
And it helps for search everywhere optimization.
SEO.
I don't call it, I don't call it that anymore because people are searching on other places other than search engines now.
April, we don't need to know anything about SEO. You've got that covered.
That's right. But you do need to encourage your people, you know, your clients to upload those pictures though. So, and even
ask for the review. Ask for a good review. If people are happy and they like what you guys have done, don't be shy. Ask. Say, you know, it would help us a lot. So anytime I do so, you know, even fly an airline, they send me an email and say, how did we do? So a lot of companies do that. They want to know, how did you like the experience? What do you think of our product? That kind of stuff. So
I think it was really cool that the plane didn't crash.
Yeah. I'm not dead.
We're alive.
I'm glad all the air traffic controllers showed up.
Right.
Yeah.
Something I like to do, and I admit I need to do a better job of getting more reviews, but I mean, I'm not terrible, but I need to do a better job. But that being said, you know, I found these cups in April. I think you've done this too, because I've gotten one, I think, from you, you know, but what I did, and I believe it was you guys made me almost like a QR code, and they scan, you know, all you gotta do is scan that, takes you right to the reviews. And what I did was I bought some like tumblers that were just 20-ounce tumblers. I put my logo on them, and at the very end of every job, even if it's not me, I have the guy that's power washing out there, the very last person that picks up the check. We get the check, he hands over that person this tumbler, and inside the tumbler is that review card. And every time I've passed one of those out, I've got a review. And I think I think it cost me $300, and I think I got like 25 or 30 of those tumblers. And that was, I mean, it's money well worth it, to be honest with you. I mean, it makes you look professional. It's kind of this little keepsake, and we always tell them, hey, first drink's on us, even though we're not buying them the drink, but they can pour whatever drink they want in the cup, you know. So
Yeti, you can get your logo on Yeti tumblers and stuff too. And if you sign up for their email list, they have promotions where you could get a free one every so often. So free's nice, right?
Yes, but I do not need any more cups in my life. I mean, it is it's ridiculous how many cups. I mean, they're everywhere in my house. I mean, it's like an infant, like they're just everywhere.
Collection.
Yes, I mean, I have more cups. I could make my own cup business, I think, at this point now. So I have an inventory.
We send our clients little cards with QR codes to make it easy for their clients to leave a review. And we also have a review request system that's automated after the project is done. And there's a couple of ways to use that, but it's really nice because you'll get notified when a review comes in, and then you can comment on it really quickly, which is important as well from an search everywhere optimization standpoint. But one thing I don't know if the account managers have been talking to you guys about, but you can also, try and get a picture with your clients on the deck. and then you could take some other pictures of the deck and you could text it to them and remind them if they haven't left that review, hey, when you leave that review, please post these pictures. And then we build out project pages for our clients. It'd be amazing to have that personality and authentic imagery of you with the client, or whomever on your team with the client on the deck too.
There's also, if I can make a comment, there's a distinct advantage in what you guys do is that you're building outside. I mean, Tommy, you made a comment about, it's construction. People are happy when we're done. But think about, when you do an interior job, you're inside their house and how challenging that is and how disruptive it is to their everyday life because you've got a mess and it's right in your home. When you're building in the outdoor space, people look out the window and it's like it's not as intrusive. So I think there's that aspect of it too, that you guys have a little bit of advantage because you're not doing bathrooms or kitchens. You're outside.
I've done that, so I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it's a night and day difference. I've heard that from builders. They're like, hey man, we're outside the house, we're not in it. So
yeah, we used to do pretty elaborate home theaters, and it was that's kind of where I started in construction, and it was all in the home and typically in the basement. Working in a dark, dingy cave was just not good for me. So kind of like you were talking about the sun, April. I mean, getting me outside that's definitely better. But yeah, taking over someone's house. I mean, it's
and
people are giving us a lot of grace in just allowing us to be there, and we just need to remember it.
Yeah, I'm going through all that right now. My husband and I are sleeping on the couch. We don't know when the project's ever going to get done at this point.
Yeah.
I told my husband, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just changing my mindset that this is the new reality.
Darn construction workers.
EJ Merritt said, hey, y'all, just discovered y'all about a week ago and so glad to catch live. Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. Oh, check this out. Sarah said Andy's guy could wear a guitar outfit when we were talking about the showroom. And then I did miss this one. I put it up there, but Daniel said, interesting. So showrooms also help with the upselling. I'll send you guys that link to that session we had, and it'll give you some cool ideas too. For clients only though. Pat O'Keefe from O'Keefe Built, it's the cutest thing in the world, I think. They print out each review that they get, and then they put them in a little frame, and they have a wall of reviews.
Oh, nice.
So even if people don't read them when they go to the showroom, they're seeing the volume, and it speaks a lot. I think that's a really cool idea.
Taking a note of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nicole said building culture is so important. Love what Tommy shared. She's my integrator. She's my right-hand gal. So
yeah.
So that's where that came from. And Deck Masters of South Florida, do you guys have minimum dollar amount thresholds? For instance, maybe you're not going to accept a job under this dollar amount.
We do. I think we're about 35,000 is a starter deck for us. So that would be just a 16 by 16 deck, steel frame, all composite decking, all metal rail, no steps. You're at 35,000. Anything less than that, we're just not there.
I'm not.
We also, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but listen to the podcast from yesterday because we talked a lot about this with Sean Collingscrew.
Gotcha. To answer that question that he was asking, if the job makes sense, I take the job. I mean, I don't like to match the lowest price. I don't like if somebody comes at me and they have a realistic number and my number is close to their number and we can find a middle ground, to me, I take that job. And they still get that same quality and everything. I mean, I think it also depends on the time of year for me. I mean, I'm more acceptable going into the winter here of taking jobs, maybe wheeling and dealing a little bit more versus if it was like mid-May.
Mhm.
Mid-May, mid-May, your price is your price, and
Right.
that is what it is. But for me, it's, if I can make money off the job, and not in a greed way, but like if it's a job where we can do a good job because there's profit and we can take our time, I'll take it. It doesn't matter what size the job is. But most of the time I'm with Tommy, and most of mine top out around 30, 35, because most people that see us because of the marketing that we do and stuff, that's the type of people that have that budget. So, but I will take what I can if the price is right, so.
I'm
Good
I'm kind
stuff.
of on I'm kind of on par with Andy's situation there. We do advertise that jobs are going to be at a minimum, and um, but at the same point, we do 1 day jobs. As long as the job makes sense. Just because it's smaller doesn't mean it's not something we can handle. It's not something that we would advertise that we do all the time. But we do quite a few of them through the year. It's good for fill in. It's you know, there's just as much. You have to price them appropriately. If it's a smaller job, obviously it's going to cost more to make the same profit on that situation. But um, as long as we're making what we need to make, and the job's a nice job that's going to be built properly, we'll take it
Yeah.
on.
And I think there's an important thing there too. It's not necessarily sometimes about, for me, it's keeping my guys busy too. I need to make sure that, I hold the livelihood of a lot of people in my hands being a business owner. And if I can't keep these guys building and working, they're going to go somewhere that can keep them building and working. So I think it's kind of one of those areas where, if you're going to build this culture like we're talking about, that culture that I have, I've got to keep my own boots on the ground per se, with my guys, because they've got holidays coming up, they've got kids, they've got things that they have to pay for, and it's my job as the guy with the vision to sell my vision and have people invest in us. So I think it's more than just how much money I can get on a deck, if it's a small deck, because to me it's not necessarily about the money. It's more of making sure that everybody's taken care of throughout the year, and hope there's a profit, I guess. So
Right.
And I will add to that a little bit too. Like, so we typically, or we charge to come out on the estimate too. So if somebody gets a ballpark and we're going to go out to give them an actual price, at least we are getting paid for that time to go out, and give them a price on the smaller projects. And more often than not, the smaller projects don't feel as comfortable paying for the on-site consultation. So that kind of helps that
Weed them out.
that No, yeah, but it just lets them move on to the next person that might be more fitting for their project.
Right.
Yeah, that really speaks volume. And, that's probably because your marketing did so well that it primed them so that.
There you go.
it
You might
is
be
true
on
though.
Yeah, no, it is very much true. Like, your marketing drives the people.
It does,
It
yeah.
does all the work beforehand, so that when they
Mhm.
come to you, they already know what to expect. There's like
That's
on our
100%.
website, it shows our pricing. It shows a project, and there's one that's close enough to what that customer is looking for that has a price tag on it, so they already know what it should cost. And if they don't, then they didn't do a very good job of doing any research.
Do either
Mhm.
of you guys ever get like an email or like an inquiry from somebody, and it'll say, "Hey, I have this job. It's probably too small for you guys, but wanted to see if you'd be interested." I get that a lot, and
Mm.
that information tells me that this person has went on my website or their social media or whatnot, and they've seen the work that we've done, and they're interested, they want it, but they kind of already have in the back of their mind, these guys are more elaborate than what I'm looking for. and
Mhm.
and I think that that's kind of cool, because it just shows that the website and the marketing and all that stuff is, not floating your boat, but you know what I mean, April.
Mhm.
It's even if you're not using April, it's all in the marketing of how you're pushing your product, and showing what you can do, because I think that's so cool when people say that, because And I end up saying, yeah, we could still take a look at it. And even if I'm higher, it's almost like they expect it to be higher, and they were grateful that they got such a good builder to come out and do it. You know what I mean? So,
And Andy, I think you're spot on with that. When I get emails or phone calls like that start off with, hey, this probably is a job too small for you guys, but I really just wanted to reach out, whatever. It tells me a couple of things. It tells me that they appreciate the level of quality that we produce. And typically that is in my opinion, that is going to be a client that I want to work with, because they appreciate our quality. They appreciate that quality probably comes at a higher price point, but they will also, in my experience, they become a more loyal customer, loyal client, to where if you do that job for them, they are going to sing your praises on social media, on giving reviews, on giving referrals, on telling their friends, hey, if you're getting a deck, this is the company. Hen-House Decks did a great deck for us. That job that maybe it comes in a little bit under what we would typically be looking for, that job might lead to $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 project from friends, family, whatever. There's something really special about working with a client who already values your team, as opposed to somebody that's just like, hey, I want a deck. Can you come out and give me a bid and whatever? So, there's exceptions to every rule. I don't know. I told you I'm a guy that wears my heart on my sleeve. I tell people how I feel about them. If I get that sob story that, I can't find anybody that will do this job, we're like, yeah, we're doing that job. We just know we are. We just did like a screen enclosure, and I was like, it's a 1 day, 2 day job. It'll be a good job for, fill in or whatever. And we sold the job, and lo and behold, the screen door comes and it's damaged and it's delayed 2.5 weeks. And it's like, why did I take this job?
That's how that always works. You do.
It is.
Brendan Casey tells me, Mike, I think Mike, we're on a group message with Brendan Casey, Mike, myself, and Brendan. And he's always talking about how he went the extra mile on a job for somebody, and they gave him a sad story or something. And I forget the scenario, but I'm going to create it. I'm pretty sure this is what it was. He gave him some solid skirting for free for whatever the reason was. And then the material came all damaged or something. The homeowner didn't like it, and he did all this stuff, and it wasn't even part of anything. And it was the added stress of being nice. And he still did it. I think people's business, like we got to kind of bend over backwards sometimes just to make people happy, because we're good guys. We're nice people. Yeah. We're not crooks, right? And sometimes that does bite us in the ass, but it is what it is. I'll still do it, so.
Yeah,
I think it's important. I think it's important to have a network of people too, that when there's when somebody calls or comes in with a request and it's not the right fit for you, it's really good to be able to have somebody that you can refer them to, which will then in turn refer back to you when it's outside their scope. That seems to help a lot too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think what's really important though is it's like, how many times have you guys done what's it called when you switch work with another business for free?
Yeah.
How come I'm not thinking of the word?
Is it barter?
Barter.
Is that what it is? I don't know.
Yeah, when you is that what it's called? Barter, right?
I think so. Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't do it, especially with what we do with marketing, because they won't value it as much. No, and they won't show up in the way that I need them to show up and to give us the things that we need. So all I'm saying is, like, even if you are going the extra mile or doing something for free, like, you have to let them know that this is special, that, normally this isn't something that you do, because they won't value it if they don't know. It's uncomfortable, but I think it's important to do. So
yeah,
Doctor,
April,
we're like way past time, but I could sit here
Oh,
and talk
sorry.
with you guys forever. Do you have time for one more question? I've got a ton in here, but I don't want to keep you guys.
I'm
It's
okay. These guys are.
yeah, I'm good.
okay.
It's
So
Friday. It's
Doctor,
the
so
weekend already.
Jason popped in and said, "Hey, April, well done." What? Well, thank you. I appreciate it, Jason. But what for? Probably just having these beautiful fellas here.
Jason, April brings she has a prescription for quality direct from the doctor.
That's good. Garden Structure Group said, "Love seeing you guys charging for consultations." That is such a debate in the community. So, you inspired some folks here, Mike.
Tommy, do you charge or no?
We've got a hybrid version of that. Yeah. I've gone back and forth on it. But long story short, we will give a proposal for things that are under 100,000. If you are over that $100,000 threshold, I give you a rough number, like you're going to be $150,000 project. If they want to get deep in the weeds on the specifics, I charge 1% as a consultation fee. I'll draw up drawings and give a full detail, down to the penny of what the project's going to be. And it does a couple of things. Getting that 1% is nothing. And you don't care. I don't care to get that check. We want the $150,000 check. But it eliminates us doing all that work for someone that really isn't a buyer. Mm-hmm. It also, I think, going back to Chris Breen, I think I heard him mention once that when you get a check from someone, whatever that dollar amount is, it's like a 90% close rate. And that's what we use that for. We try to get commitments from our potential clients all along the way. So we used JobTread. I try to get clients to upload photos of the backyard. I don't care what the backyard looks like. I can look it up on Google Maps or on realtor.com and get an idea of what we're working with. But now my client has invested something. They've taken pictures, they've uploaded those to the site. It just they've got a little bit of skin in the game. And then we move them on to, okay, here's your proposal. And then it's, a 1% consultation fee. And they're slowly becoming a part of Solid Ground's build. They're already there with us. Mm-hmm. So,
I wanted to say something from earlier when we were talking about marketing too, is, what I've been really trying to get out there is how you are, you're priming your ideal client. But your marketing from the beginning will help get you more referrals, meaning it's the first experience that people have with you, even before they even meet you. So if you can make sure that experience and all of the touch points that they have with you from your ads to what's on your website to how you answer the phone,
yeah.
And then how you consult and help them through the sales process, and everything afterward is going to contribute to whether or not you get those, referrals and stuff. Mm-hmm. So super important.
I would like to move to an inside sales rep to take a little bit of the burden off of the outside sales team that, they're not having to field phone calls constantly, but, having that inside sales rep kind of prep the client. They can take a little bit more time with them and just get the client ready for, what is it like working with Solid Ground? Give them kind of a rundown of it. April, when you and I first started doing business together, we've been friends for years before that, but for the business side of things, one of the first things I told you was that I wanted to limit my phone calls. I didn't want more phone calls of just, hundreds of phone calls that aren't producing. I wanted to limit the phone calls to the clientele that I can devote time to. Now that we've done that, I can focus more time with a client on the phone. And now, even if they are not a client for us, I still have time to talk to them, give them the respect that they deserve. Like, this person took, I can do them a good service here, even if I'm not the builder for them. I can tell them what things to look for in a builder, how to find a company that might do a good job for them. So yeah, it's been great being able to really kind of tune down the phone calls, if you will.
Yeah, and that just makes your life better, right? Like you're not like, ugh, I got to do this, you know?
Yeah.
You're probably enjoying doing sales more because people are more primed and ready.
Yep.
And it allows you to spend more time with the people that are your clients.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So Deck Masters of South Florida said, thank you very much for answering my question. I have to sign off. I'm a big fan of all of your work and looking forward to seeing you all at the show. Love it. Mission accomplished.
See you there.
Oh, by the way, for anybody that I'm going to find this. For anybody that doesn't have a ticket yet, you can use code invite1645 for a free Deck Expo pass. So no excuses, man. No excuse. Go to the pool, spa,
Nice.
patio, and Deck Expo website and just punch in invite 1645. Okay, so this question I really want to get to, and it's going back to a topic that we were on previously. So Bobby wants to know from Andy, because you're such a creative guy, how do you handle a homeowner looking for a standard deck? Do you lead them in a process to imagine the possibilities?
That was a great question. You know, my slogan that I've came up with is, it's not just a deck. It's that Hen-House Deck, right? And I'm all in on that slogan. I even have a kind of commercial video thing coming up pretty soon where it's about that. But anyway, so going back to the question, I will go to a project where it is a standard deck. A lot of people around here just want something that is basic, and you know, most of the time it's a standard deck because they don't know that there's a deck. And I find that as being a professional deck designer or deck builder in my market and in the industry, it's important to inform that client and the homeowner, well, the client and homeowner, you know, that this is more than just that standard project. I mean, it could be throwing a border in it and changing the color of it. You know, just that little detail takes a standard deck and turns it into a more creative deck because you've used a brown board with a gray main deck floor. And then from that it ripples to, okay, let's talk about the fascia, this bordering, those could be different color steps, you know, just we could match the border, we could do this and that. So these little details, you know, you don't have to put a curve in the deck, you don't have to make it, could be a square deck, but what you do with the color choices in that deck, I think can really take what people think a standard deck is and turn it into a custom deck or a unique deck more so than a custom deck. And you know, that sometimes doesn't even change the price of the project. I mean, if I'm doing a border on a deck, which is my standard, and it's a gray deck, and I throw a brown border on it, and it's the same material and all that, it's the same price. That material doesn't cost me any different. I'm already putting a border on the deck. So, you know, I can go in there and offer that where my competitors don't offer something like that, and now they've got something a little more unique with my vision on it for the same price as if they didn't have that. You know, some people, they do like the same color in a standard deck, and they understand that it is more than just a deck, but to them that's their deck. It doesn't make a difference if it's a boring deck or not. That's what they want. But most of the time my clients like that little bit of funk that I put in it. So
Awesome. Garden Structure Group said we've been charging for more than 20 years, charging for designs too.
Yep.
And then they said small sale leads to bigger sales being easier. All right. So, the topic at hand. um, for builders attending Deck Expo, what excites you most about connecting with peers and sharing ideas on while you're there?
Are you asking us this question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say that one more time.
All right.
But, you know,
It was weird how you.
really,
Yeah, I thought
I
it was for
think
the
what
audience.
better.
Yeah.
I think what a better question would be is why should deck builders make sure to attend the panel and go to Deck Expo in general? So, Chuck, why don't you
Yeah,
answer the first part about the panel, and then we'll open it up to everybody to just give your words of wisdom on, why they should come to Deck Expo.
In regards to the panel, I mean, these guys are a wealth of knowledge. They're industry experts. They're leading build and design projects. And so by attending the panel, you're going to learn from the best. So there, like I said earlier, there's a collaboration ethic. These guys are leaders in it. And so go to the panel and bring a notepad, listen to what's being shared, and you'll benefit
It's like
from it.
thinking outside the box.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's participatory, right? So you bring some questions, you get some good feedback, and I mean, this type of collaboration is invaluable. Even if if you go with an open mind, you'll pick up a few ideas and then apply those to your business.
And what else can people don't isn't there like a little bit of a takeaway, like a physical takeaway that they get? Chuck?
That I don't. If there is,
Free
that's
magazine, maybe?
well, magazines are yes.
Yes.
You will have a magazine, and Bobby Parks he's not with us, but Bobby Parks is on the cover of the.
You can get a signature from Bobby.
Yeah.
You get to,
Signed
there you go.
copy.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, all of these shows, Deck Expo and Nadra, IBS, they're, for me, it's a chance to get around a bunch of like-minded people that most of these guys, actually everybody here, I met through Nadra. 4 years ago, I think we joined Nadra, and getting to go to that event, going to Deck Expo, I get to reconnect with buddies that I haven't seen since the last show, and it's a way to, like, as business owners, we don't have people unless you've got other friends in your local area that are business owners. They don't understand what you're going through. They don't understand the stresses of owning a business. They don't understand. I'm trying to buy a work truck. I mean, I just want to buy a truck. I call dealerships, and you can't get phone calls back. You can't get somebody to call you to buy a truck. Getting material difficulties there. We've got some stuff coming in out of Canada that is held up at the border, and it's like, how do I explain these struggles to anybody that works like a real job? They don't want to hear it. They think, oh, you own your own business, everything's great, and it must be nice. And I can talk to Mike and Andy and be like, hey, how do you deal with this?
Right.
And it's almost like a therapy session. It really is, like, to be able to be around guys that I've respected for many years and looked up to, and and I get to see their work through social media, and then we copy some of the things that they do. Like, somebody does a different detail in a fascia design, or I don't think anybody's ever going to copy the guitar deck, but there's some takeaways I can try to. Going to these shows puts me in a group of like-minded and extremely talented people that I go through that show like a sponge, and I just want to take in everything I can. And quite honestly, the end, like the show itself is it's like the background, seeing vendors and different products, but it's really seeing these guys, seeing other friends in the industry. So seeing you trying to get me to ride some crazy ride at the top of some stratosphere.
But it is true, though. I would agree.
freaking love that photo, Tommy. That is one of the best photos ever. And I think I have it on the website.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was a good
It
time.
is though that like if you're not growing, you're dying, and a lot happens in a year. There's a lot of innovation and things, and I can't figure it all out here, but I can go tell you and
Yeah.
I don't want to say steal their ideas, but yeah, that's what we're doing. We're stealing everybody's ideas and
Yeah,
making it our own. And I want them to steal my ideas too, so that we can all grow. And
Mhm.
there's no better place to do it than to be around a bunch of people that want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
My take on it, for anybody that's looking to go to Deck Expo, I mean, the biggest word I can think of immediately is being inspired. I mean, there's so much inspiration and inspiring things there. I mean, like Tommy said, just talking to other guys. I mean, you don't have to be inspired by a product, you don't have to be inspired by a design, but you might be inspired and be like, man, that guy, I like the way that guy presented himself. I like the way Tommy runs his business. I like the way Mike runs his business. And then you pick his brain on things that he's doing. I mean, Mike tells me stuff all the time, and I've learned different things through Mike. Like I think April, I asked Mike's opinion on your marketing. And that was through the networking this way, right? And I'm sure Tommy's been that way. It's all about networking and getting yourself in there and making sure you're making the best of your time there by whatever it is. You don't have to come home with a new product that's a game changer, but you're going to come home with a whole arsenal of all sorts of different things, so.
And there are a lot of manufacturers and sales reps and things like that. And those are all really important connections to have if you want to do extraordinary things.
That was great. Extraordinary. If you want to do extraordinary things,
Yeah.
go.
And I would say with us three as the power panel and other ones in the past, I mean, and Chuck kind of touched base on this, we're all open books. I mean, we're not guys out there that are wanting to just be us and not share any industry secrets, anything like that. You have a question, I will answer the question. I want to see, my passion is for this industry to be the best that this industry can be. And I think that the people I surround myself when I go to these events have that same passion as me, and it just works and it's natural. And I think that's an important thing for people when they're up there and they see us up talking. I mean, we're not just guys that are BSing. We're telling you our failures, we're telling you our success stories and everything in between, and hopefully that just helps somebody get themselves to the next level, because there was a time where all three of us needed to get to the next level, and we're still leveling up. It's just it's nice to see like guys like Bobby Parks who help guys, and somebody is on a podcast and say, thank God for Tommy, Mike, and Andy's talk. I got me to the next level. That's, to me,
Right.
going off of what Chris Breen's always like, that's a legacy I want to be a part of. I don't want to be known as Andy who did the guitar deck. I want to be known as Andy, the guy that gave the industry everything he could, so.
OG.
Andy, I think you're on as that, bud. I think you are.
Well, Chuck, how about you tell, I mean, you guys are going to have a booth there,
Yep.
right? You want to talk about that a little bit
Come
more?
by it. So come by and see us at the show. Sarah Graves, our editor, will be there. We're also going to have our social media person coming out at the show. So our job is to facilitate communication, right? So from the manufacturers down to the builders, and come by and see us, give us some ideas in terms of editorials, things you would like to see us write about, trends, products, practices, that kind of stuff. So we're there as well to listen to you folks and to get information to make the magazine a little better. But then we're also like a mirror. So we want to reflect back what's going on within the industry. And so for us, it's one of the best opportunities to hear from everybody individually, and then to take that and translate it into content in the publication. So we're tying into the inspiration idea. That's what we want to do, is because there's a certain inspiration that comes from seeing each other in person and then getting that camaraderie. And the idea with the magazine is to reflect that in between the times that we're not together, and so that the magazine can kind of serve as a virtual place where people come together. I mean, before there was social media, there's been trade media, and a good trade media connects the industry together so that people still feel that sense of connection, and the sense of pride, and the sense of accomplishment. So come see us at the show, and look forward to being there in just over a week.
Very well said. And Andy, you and I both are going to be on this panel, but we are both speaking later that day as well. Your session is Smarter Deck Building with AI Tools That Work as Hard as You Do. So you could catch Andy at 3 p.m. on Wednesday, October 22nd. He'll also be at the Outdoor Living Stage booth 3454. You want to I've been telling people about this. I think that it's going to be really valuable and nobody's going to want to miss this. Anything you want to say in anticipation?
Yeah, Mike's actually going to join me on that one too.
Oh, okay.
Because Mike uses it in way, I think it's good to get different perspectives, and Mike and I work well together with going back and forth on how we run two opposite businesses in a sense. We're like, what's the Donnie and Marie are the Osmonds, like Mike's a little more country, I'm a little more rock and roll, and I think it works good for us, you know what I mean? And so I think with that blend, it's going to be a great little blend to talk about. And I'm blessed, and I'm glad I took the bull, to be honest with you, by the horns on this subject, because it's certainly something that I think is very foreign to a lot of people. It's AI is growing faster than I can even keep up with, and I'm going to talk about the stupid thing. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like trying to teach myself more stuff. I mean, when I submitted this thing 3 months or 4 months ago or something, I had it down how I thought AI was good, and it blows my mind. I mean, 3 months ago is 3 years really with AI.
I know.
I mean, the things that you can do now, it blows my mind. So I mean, I've got a lot of work to do before I do this, because I want to make sure that a lot of people find a lot of value in this, and I think it's definitely something that every person should be at least entertaining, adding to the way they do business, for sure. I mean, it makes my life 10 times easier on certain things. I mean, it's going back to when you asked us earlier what our favorite article was that we wrote. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if I'm being honest, probably my favorite article that we ever wrote was the last article we just did, and it was about Chat GPT. And the reason it was my favorite article, and I don't want to sound lazy in this aspect, but the reason it was my favorite article was that we just used Chat GPT and it wrote the whole damn thing, and we submitted it, because that was the whole point of the article, was how it can help you. And then at the very end, it's like, by the way, this whole thing that you just read, and you're like, wow, this really makes a lot of sense. We didn't even write it. AI wrote it, and that was the beauty of it. So that would probably be my favorite, just because of the of the fun in it, because it was just submitted, and I just love that somebody might be sitting down reading this magazine about Chat GPT and thinking, man, these guys really put a lot of effort into making sure that this AI article was fantastic, and at the very end they got trolled. We didn't even write it. It was AI, so
Talking
that,
about themselves.
yeah, like, it was just funny, because that was Skynet, not us.
And all the imagery too was created.
Everything.
Yeah, it was all created just
only
by
thing
telling
that
it. We just told it what we wanted to see.
Yeah, the only thing AI didn't do was hit send
There it
to
is. Well,
was hit send on the email.
yeah, there it
Which
is.
you can do that, of course.
Yeah,
You could
that's a
create
good point.
all full workflow. So that's the power of AI and automation
That
together.
was the whole
It's like,
point of the article. Yeah.
I
Check this out,
also
definitely.
so the talk I'm doing is Stop Chasing Leads, Create a Marketing System That Brings Clients to You. That'll be at 11 a.m. on Wednesday. Having a system is extremely important. This year has been a challenge with AI. It's disrupted everything. And the way that consumers buy now is completely different. They have a much higher level of expectation, and they're going to do a ton of research before they ever even get to your website. I mean, it's a zero-click world where people are finding you and building trust in you before they even click, right? So they're finding all that information on Chat GPT and generative search and things like that. So having a really strong system is going to help you uh, you know grow your business in the way that it should be, and the way that you want. And so I'll be talking a lot about the 4 pillars of our system, where we don't just focus on generating leads, we focus on visibility, trust, leads, and success. So I'll be talking about all of that. I'll probably have a handout takeaway where you can take all the strategies that I'll be talking about and apply them. And then come and ask questions. We do Deck Builder Marketers is the growth partner for these fellas right here. And you can ask questions of, what's been successful for them, and get it right from the source. So I would love to see you there. It's at 11 a.m. on Wednesday. Any final words of wisdom before we part ways?
I saw a question come up on my screen, and I thought it was one that maybe we should address, and maybe we already did, but I don't remember it. Somebody had asked, "What do you do if you can't afford a showroom?" Do you see that question they asked?
Oh,
and I thought it was just a good question, and I felt like if we're being true to who we are, we should answer that question. So
do it. Yeah, I can't find it, but I mean, you just
I thought
said
I
it.
saw somebody. I thought I saw. Yeah, I thought I saw it. I don't know. I had it on my side screen here.
It was Andy's question.
Yeah, right.
Mine?
No.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, but
I don't even remember typing it.
Whoever asked that question, my advice would be, if you can't afford to have a showroom or brick and mortar, really, yeah, right there it is.
Yeah.
There you go.
My recommendation would be really work on your social media presence. I mean, I feel that your social media presence is going to be the biggest thing for you. I mean, because that is, you get what you put into social media. And you have a phone, most people have a Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all 3, and I'm sure there's other ones. And really put a lot of time and invest in that, I feel, because that's going to get you that visibility that you're looking for. So that would be my advice. So
yep. We go ahead, Mike.
Go
ahead. We same thing, using a lot of social media, a lot of pictures. We ask our teams to take pictures daily. We have a professional photographer that goes out and does final pictures at the end of a project. So having plenty of opportunity to display different angles, different views, up close photos, things at distance, aerial photos, that really helps. We have also, prior to having a show, we're in the process of building a showroom now. Prior to that, we used our home, and we've run the business out of our home for many years. Our backyard is pretty elaborate. I would invite clients to my home, and the caveat to that, or the challenge to that, I guess, is things have to be on point. Like, the house has to be well maintained, it has to look clean, presentable, whatever. My family had to be on board, like, hey, I've got clients coming over, they're coming over at 6 o'clock. So, send the kids out for dinner. We do a meeting with a client out on my deck, and my success rate with that was probably 90%. Like, it was very high if they're taking the time to meet with us there. And I think that will translate over, kind of like Mike was alluding to, with closing business in the showroom. You're showing your quality. You're not just showing, here's a deck board that you can pull off the shelf at, a big box store. Here's a deck board with custom miters, and here's the way our waterfall edge on our steps and our fascia details look like this, risers look like that. The lighting, everything has to go together. And for me, it's worked very well to use our home for that showroom. But I'm over it. I'm I'm ready to get to that next step. And now we're at a good opportunity that, you know, we're booking for August of next year right now. So we're going to take a break on, I'm out of sales completely now. So I'll be able to step aside from that and focus on the build of that showroom. So I don't know, maybe we'll put something together on the process of that. April, you'll have to help us bring that to life through the website or something. I don't know.
Yeah. That's I mean, Tommy, that's why you're here, man. You're always sharing the wisdom. That was really good advice. I'm glad that you wanted to tackle that question, Andy.
Yeah, I saw it and I just thought it was important to bring up, you know, so.
Yeah.
I would
Well-
say I'd say partner with your local lumber yards. So like you're going to need somewhere to showcase product. They probably have the product. Work with them to whether you
Yeah.
help build something or make it work together with them so that you have somewhere to bring them. And if you could build something that you could put your name on or something like that would be a great start. It's where we get started.
Well, Anna, I hope that was helpful. It certainly was helpful for me. Really appreciate your guys' time. We're only 45 minutes over, but I think everybody would agree that having all of you guys here was been very invaluable. And don't miss everybody at Deck Expo. All right, so again, winning high-end clients, the art of selling luxury outdoor living on Thursday.
Wednesday.
No.
Okay, Thursday. Okay, got it. Thursday.
Wednesday at
Wednesday.
2:45.
It's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
Thursday. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So my notes
you
are
go.
wrong, but I do have it right here. So silly me. Right here, October 22nd, Wednesday at 2 to 2:45, right?
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Outdoor living stage. All 5 of us will be there. So Chuck will be moderating, and then you'll hear it straight from the sources here, Andy, Mike, and Tommy. And then of course I come from the marketing perspective and can drop some juicy nuggets from that angle. And then again, don't miss catching me at Stop Chasing Leads, create a marketing system that brings clients to you. That'll be on Wednesday at 11 a.m. And if you're ready to take your business to the next level, don't forget to book your free strategy session with me at deckbuildermarketers.com.
Good deal.
My God.
Careful.
I swear I'm living.
Ah.
I just got over a cough that was just completely, every time it was at the wrong time when you start to cough. So I feel your
And
pain.
there she goes.
Yeah,
Yep.
it happens. It's
And
part
we've
of
lost her.
being a
Well,
part
miss you.
of being a moderator. So
Yeah.
hopefully
Man, I'm looking forward to this show, guys. I'm
water.
looking forward to seeing all of you.
Yeah, we'll see you.
So the first time I ever spoke, this happened. And I had to leave the room and go
Oh,
find
Lord.
water and come back.
Yeah. Hall's mentholyptus. Yeah, they could
Here,
throw.
if I could do a quick plug, April.
Yeah, for cola.
Free
There you
go.
cola.
There you go. Something for your throat.
Gotta have them.
Guys, thank you so
All
much.
right.
Really appreciate your time. We'll see you soon.
See
All right.
ya.
Thank you.
See you.